Today I'm going to be trying a celebrity wine with some slight trepidation. Throughout the wine world, this seems to have been a thing in the past couple of decades, with everyone from, I don't know, is it Gwyneth Paltrow, did she make a wine? Kylie Minogue? Not quite the same level of celebrity in a good way. So I've got buzzing insects around me. Alex James from Blur, some of you may be aware, branched out into cheesemaking, and is it a natural extension of that? I don't know. More recently branched out into winemaking. So this is his, fittingly titled, I suppose, for a former member of the band Blur, Britpop icon of the 1990s. His range of English sparkling wines are called Britpop. This is the Rosé. I also have the Brut, but for some reason I just decided to try them this way round. There isn't a huge amount of information about it on the back, and I couldn't really find a lot on the web either. It's a blend of Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier, as nearly all English sparkling wines are. I think it's quite a hefty chunk of Chardonnay. It's 49% or something Chardonnay, the 51 split between the Pinot Noir and the Meunier. As always, more Pinot Noir than Meunier. And some portion of this will be made as a red wine. Some portion of those Pinots would have been made as a red wine to then blend in to give it its colour. Lovely pale pink colour to that. Gentle notes of berry fruit there. I'm always tempted to say wild strawberry when it's a rosé, but I'm not sure it is on this particular occasion. Be more sort of raspberry. Lovely fresh acidity on the palate, quite a nice volume to that. Those bubbles really giving it some volume, some texture, and they're more berry fruit. Interesting that the Chardonnay doesn't seem to manifest that much here, considering it's pretty much half the blend. I'm not getting a lot of lemon or apple. It's quite acidic, but I'm getting more kind of berry fruit. I mean, there's possibly things like, let's think of some sour red berry fruits. Cranberries, I suppose they can be a little bit sour. Red currant, but there is a nice bit of sweetness. I think the balance is pretty good. I think I read somewhere in the region of 8 grams a litre dosage. Or was that residual sugars? They're not exactly the same thing, are they? But I think that's pretty nice. It's dainty, which is not a given with a rosé sparkling wine, actually. Some of them can be surprisingly gutsy. Black Dog Hill, a good example of a wine producer in England that makes, I think, quite a gutsy rosé sparkling. This is pretty dainty, light, it's summery, it's refreshing. Maybe it's not massive on complexity, but that's okay. I mean, it's pleasant, it's very drinkable, refreshing, tasty. I have no real complaints. I've decided to move benches because I was getting bitten a bit back there in the woods. A bit more airflow here to keep the midges or whatever they are away. I've pondered over this a bit more. I think one thing about it that possibly attests to the fact that it's not hugely complex is that it's only had 22 months on the lees, which, taking a survey of some of the recent English sparkling wines I've had, I would say is slightly towards the lower end. 3 years might be typical, 4 years feels like a bit of a treat, but slightly under 2 years is towards the lower end. It seems stylistically they're certainly not trying to trade a lot on autolytic complexity. They're really more going for fruit character, and that's not a bad thing. Generally speaking, fruit character in wine is something I really enjoy. I would say alongside those berry notes now, per the official tasting notes, they mention some hint of floral notes, and once that thought has been put into my head, I don't know what kind of flower that would be. If it's floral notes being exhibited by the Pinot side of things, then generally speaking, it seems that only tends to go one of two ways. We know from Burgundy that we get violet or we get rose, so maybe a very, very, very soft hint of rose there, but it's certainly not very pronounced. But yeah, something in the faint floral sort of spectrum. Overall, it is very nice. Feels very much like a summery wine. Light, refreshing, not hugely complex, but it does have this nice fruit character, nice acidity to it, nice balance. Probably should have had it with some cheese, but I am at least in a park per Blur's park life. All the people, so many people, they all go hand in hand through their park life. Cheers.